So we will find out the dimensional formula for some more physical quantities which are important for your class 11-12 syllabus. So first we will find out about capacitance. So capacitance, this relation is already given. Q is equal to C into V, where C is the capacitance. So you can get C is equal to Q by V, where Q is the charge and V is the electric potential. For potential it is m to the power 1, L to the power 2, T to the power minus 3, A to the power minus 1. Okay. So if you calculate this will come up to be m to the power minus 1, L to the power minus 2, then T to the power, here it is 1 and this minus 3, it will be 1 plus 3, then A to the power minus 1, it will add up. So the final answer will be m to the power minus 1, L to the power minus 2, T to the power 4, A to the power 2. So this is the dimensional formula for capacitance. So the next is resistance. Already the relation is given V equal to IR, which is derived from the Ohm's law. So from here you can find that R is equal to V by I. So for V it is m to the power 1, L to the power 2, T to the power minus 3, A to the power minus 1. And for current it is denoted by A. So if you calculate this, it will come out to be A to the power minus 2. Okay, so this is the dimensional formula for resistance. So this surface tension, coefficient of viscosity, you will get it later on in your mechanics chapter. For the timing we will only find out the dimensional dimensional formula. For surface tension it is given that S is equal to rho G R H by 2. Here rho is the density, G is the acceleration due to gravity, R is radius, H is the height. So if we find the dimensional formula, then this density, it will, what is the formula for density? It is mass by volume. Okay, so for volume you can write it as L cube. Then for acceleration due to gravity, the dimension for acceleration, it is L1 T minus 2. And for radius and height, this you can write it as L. Okay, so if you add this up, you can directly write it as L square. So now if we calculate, then m to the power 1, for L here it is 1, which will add up with 2, then this will come up minus 3, then T will be minus 2. So the final answer will be m to the power 1, L to the power 0, T to the power minus 2. So this is the dimensional formula for surface tension. Next we will find out the dimensional formula for coefficient of viscosity. So the relation for viscosity is given. The force is equal to minus eta A V2 minus V1 by x2 minus, this will be x1 Okay, so from here we will find that coefficient of viscosity is equal to F by A into x2 minus x1 by v2 minus v1. So first we will write the dimensional formula for force. It is m1 L1 T minus 2. For area it is L square. X over here is the distance, okay, and v is the velocity. So for distance it is L, and for velocity it is L1 T minus 1. So if you calculate this, then you will find the answer to be m to the power 1, then L will be minus 1, and T it will be minus 1 as well. So this is the dimensional formula for coefficient of viscosity. Okay. The next question which is given is that velocity, time and force, these are the basic quantities. Then we have to find the dimensional formula for mass. Remember, earlier the basic quantities were mass, length and time. So now the basic quantities for this question have become velocity, time and force. So we are going to find out the dimensional formula of mass based on velocity, time and force. Okay, so we know that force is equal to mass into acceleration. So from here mass is equal to force by acceleration. Okay, so here we have already got this basic quantity force. Now we have to find the other two basic quantities, which are velocity and time, which we'll get from this acceleration. So force by velocity upon time. This is the formula for acceleration, because acceleration is what? It is the rate of change of velocity. So this will be of the form time into force by velocity. So here T1 F1 and V will be what? It will be minus 1. So the mass, so the dimensional formula of mass based on velocity, time and force is written as this: T to the power 1, F to the power 1 and V to the power minus 1. For dimensional analysis, we have to understand two basic points. The first is the principle of homogeneity. So the principle of homogeneity, this states that for two physical quantities, in order to add, subtract or equate, they have to be of the same dimensions. If their dimensions are not same, then we cannot add nor subtract those physical quantities. So the next point is, for any equation, in order to be valid, this equation should be correct dimensionally. So for any equation to exist, that equation should be correct dimensionally. The left hand side and the right hand side should have the same dimensions. Okay, we'll see this. So we will check this. What are the equations of motion? It is v equal to u plus at, v square is equal to u square plus twice as, then s is equal to ut plus half at square. So for the first one, left hand side it is v, which is the final velocity. So what is the dimensional formula for velocity? It is m0 l1 t minus 1. And for right hand side, there are two terms. One is u and the other is at. U is what? It is the initial velocity, m to the power 0, l to the power 1 and t to the power minus 1. And for at, it is acceleration into time. For acceleration, it is m0 l1 t minus 2 and time multiplied by time. So if you calculate, then you will find it is m to the power 0, l to the power 1 and t to the power minus 1. So all the three terms over here have got this same dimensions. Next we will check for the second equation. So what is the left hand side? It is v square. So m0 l to the power 1 t to the power minus 1 squared, it will become m to the power 2 m to the power 0 l to the power 2 and t to the power minus 2. Okay, so same dimensional formula we will get for u square, because one is the final velocity and the other is the initial velocity. So same formula. Now we will check for the second term of right hand side, acceleration into distance. So for acceleration it is m0 l1 t minus 2 and for distance it is l. So if you multiply it, you will get m0 l to the power 2 t to the power minus 2. So in all these terms we get the same dimensional formula. So this formula is also correct dimensionally. Next we will check for the third equation of motion. So LHS is what? This is length, so it will be L. For the next term, ut, it is u is what? It is the initial velocity, so this will be m0 l1 t minus 1 and multiplied by time. So same you will get L1. Okay, and for the next term it is acceleration into t square. For acceleration it is L t minus 2 multiplied by time square. So you will get the same dimensional formula for all these terms. So these equations are correct dimensionally. If these terms had different dimensions, then these equations would not have become valid. So here an equation for time period is given and we have to check whether this equation is correct dimensionally or not. For the left hand side, as it is time period, we will get the dimensional formula to be t, and for the right hand side, which is twice pi during dimensional analysis, these terms are not required as it does not have any units. So we'll check for this term. So square root of mass upon force by length. For force you can write m1 L1 T minus 2 by L. So L will move up. Okay, so M will be cancelled, L will be cancelled, then it will be T square inside the square root. So if you cancel this, you will get the dimensional formula to be T to the power 1. So it is same in both the sides. So this equation can be said to be dimensionally correct. So in this question, it is given that there is a force which is of the form m to the power a, v to the power b and r to the power c, and we have to find the values of a, b and c. So this force is of the form m to the power a, v to the power b, r to the power c. Now what is the dimensional formula for force? It is m1 L1 T minus 2, and for mass it is m. For velocity it is L T to the power minus 1, and for r, which is denoted for radius, it is L. Now if we calculate, we will find that m to the power a, L to the power b, T to the power minus b and again L to the power c. So the final formula will be L to the power b plus c, then T to the power minus b. Okay, so equating left hand side and right hand side, we get that a is equal to 1. Here m to the power 1, here it is m to the power a, so a will be equal to 1. Then for L it is the power is 1, here for L the power is b plus c, so b plus c is equal to 1. Then for T it is minus 2, here it is minus b, so minus b will be equal to minus 2. Minus will be cancelled, so b will be 2. Here putting the value, we'll get that c is equal to 1 minus 2, which is equal to minus 1. So putting these values of a, b and c, we will find the force to be of the form m to the power a, so m to the power 1, v to the power b, so v to the power 2 and r to the power c, so r to the power minus 1. So this force will become m v square by r. Okay, so what kind of force is this? This is the formula for centripetal force. So the next numerical which is given is force, acceleration and time. If these are the basic quantities, then we have to find the dimension of length. So first we will write length as force to the power x, acceleration to the power y, then time to the power z. Then we'll put the dimensional formula for force, which is m1 L1 t minus 2. Then for acceleration it is L1 t minus 2 y. Then for time it is t. Clear? So now m will have power x. For L it is here x y, so x plus y. Then for time it is minus 2x minus 2y plus z. Okay, so for length what we have, it is m0 L1 t0. So now if you equate this, the powers for m is 0, for m it is x, then x will be equal to 0. Then for length you have to equate, and for time also. So this is very easy. You reply this answer in the comment section. Try to solve it, and if you did not understand this, you can write it down in the comment section. So in the next numerical, we will find the dimensions of A and B from this given equation, which is the van der Waals equation. This you will find in your physical chemistry. So first, as I have said, that principle of homogeneity, the two terms over here, this should be dimensionally equal. So P will be equal to A by V square dimensionally. Only then we can add it. So from here we can get that A is equal to P into V square. So now put the dimensions for pressure, or if you did not memorize for pressure, then you can write that pressure is what? Force by area. Force, it is m1 L1 t minus 2. For area it is L square, and for volume it is what? L cube. So it will become L to the power 6. So if you calculate this, then you will find m to the power 1, then L will be 5, then T will be minus 2. Okay, so this is the dimensional formula for A. And what about B? Here, if the dimensions of B and V are same, then only we can subtract it. So dimensionally B will be equal to B. So what is the dimensional formula for volume? It is L cube. So the dimensional formula for B will be L cube. Okay. So in the next question, it is given that epsilon naught is the permittivity of vacuum, and we have to find the dimensional formula for epsilon naught. For this, we have to recollect the Coulomb's law. Force is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 by R square. Remember this formula? Here Q1 and Q2 are the charges, and R is the distance of separation between the two charges Q1 and Q2. So from here we will get that epsilon naught is equal to Q1 q2 divided by force then r square. Okay, so force also you can simplify it, mass into, okay, so no need to write, you can write it down directly. So what is the dimensional formula for q charge? It is AT, current into time, and for force it is m1 l1 t minus 2 for length l square. Now if you calculate this, then m will be minus 1, then for length it will be minus 3, as 1 plus 2 it will move up, it will become minus 3. Then for t it will be minus 2, it will move up, then it will become plus 2, will add up with this 1 and 1, then it will become 4, and for current it will be 2. So this is the dimensional formula for permittivity of vacuum. So the answer is B, m to the power minus 1, l to the power minus 3, t to the power 4, a square. Okay, so this question was asked in JEE mains 2013. So these are the type of questions which are asked in your entrance exam. So here we will end our class for today, and in the next class we will start with the chapter gravitation.